Hello guys. Nowadays a hot news trending that Iran drops India from Chabahar railway project. The opposition party and the media are harshly criticizing the government that government lost a big opportunity. Even the so-called pro-government media also not keeping quiet. Now the real question is, are India looking for a project in present day scenario at Iran? To understand this, the whole scenario, we need to go back in history. Historically, India and Iran have very good relation. India used to be the bulk purchaser of Iranian oil. America, on the other hand, was trying hard from Bush administration itself to stop India to buy the Iranian oil because big guys like India and China, if continue buying the oil, the sanction will be ineffective. In that time, during Obama administration, the sanction against Iran became harsh. Obama wanted Iran to bring in to table for a nuclear deal. But during that time, India held its ground very strongly and boldly continued buying Iranian oil against US's wish. Once during the Manmohan Singh government UPA 2, America put sanctions over some Indian companies. Indian government to face trouble to pay the oil bills to Iran. For some time, Iran agreed to receive payment in Indian rupees. Okay, and situation arise sometime such that India and Iran used to exchange commodities like India buys the oil and Iran buys equivalent amount of goods and services from India. For USA, always Iran is very sensitive issue. That's why when Donald Trump came, he pulled back from so-called nuclear deal made by Obama and brought a new set of sanctions against Iran and pushed India to the extreme level, like if you don't listen, you have to be ready for suffering sanctions. Now, India had lot of dependency on USA. Several Indian workers working in USA, and India is having very good trade surplus with USA. So, India under Narendra Modi government decided not to lose any more by keeping India intact with the old ideologies. Instead, India decided to go forward towards a new India USA and India Israel relationship. Israel, on the other hand, was very devoted friend to India. It was helping India since the Kargil war. But because of Iran, India-Israel relation was not going further beyond a certain level. If you consider Iran, India was always a friend of convenience to Iran. This is quite visible in recent days when Iran used several harsh words against India regarding removal of Article 370 or about CAA NRC issues. Few years back, in 2016, India made a deal with Iran regarding Chabahar in presence of Afghan government. But after signing the deal, practically India hardly made any progress in Chabahar project. Iran was becoming impatient, but still Iran was waiting because Iran didn't have anything else to do under harsh sanction condition. But recently, Iran made a very big deal with China of 400 billion, and Iran got some guts now, and Iran drops India from Chava railway project. Now the point is whether China is not afraid about US's sanction. To know this, you should be knowing something about Hong Kong. Hong Kong is under Chinese rule, but it had democracy. This is why it used to enjoy several facilities from USA. Although Hong Kong's interest used to compete with US's interest, still USA was giving Hong Kong those facilities, and China used to bypass all the sanctions via Hong Kong escape route. Means via Hong Kong market, Chinese goods used to be exported. But now the story is going to go differently. Just listen to Donald Trump in recent days.
Today I signed legislation and an executive order to hold China accountable for its oppressive actions against the people of Hong Kong. The Hong Kong Autonomy Act, which I signed this afternoon, passed unanimously through Congress. This law gives my administration powerful new tools to hold responsible the individuals and the entities involved in extinguishing Hong Kong's freedom. We've all watched what happened. Not a good situation. Their freedom's been taken away, their rights have been taken away, and with it goes Hong Kong, in my opinion, because it will no longer be able to compete with free markets. A lot of people will be leaving Hong Kong, I suspect. And we're going to do a lot more business because of it, because we just lost one competitor. It's the way it is. We lost a very, very serious competitor that we incentivized to take a lot of business and do well. And we gave them a lot of business by doing what we did. We gave them things that nobody else had the right to do. And that gave them a big edge over other markets. And because of that edge, they've done really historic business, tremendous business, far bigger than anybody would have thought years ago when we did this gift. It was really a gift to freedom. Today, I also signed an executive order ending U.S. preferential treatment for Hong Kong. Hong Kong will now be treated the same as mainland China. No special privileges, no special economic treatment, and no export of sensitive technologies. In addition to that, as you know, we're placing massive tariffs.
Now let's see the present geopolitical situation. If we start with India, India considers China as main rival. Now, who will be with India against China? That is Israel, USA, UK, Japan, Australia. These countries made their position clear. And Iran, Turkey, Pakistan, these kind of countries will be with China. Russia, although having very good relation with China, but since Russia having a good weapon market in India, so Russia will not go against India. But in case of USA-China rivalry, Turkey will not be USA's rival, but Russia will join anti-USA camp. And European Union is showing a neutral position nowadays. So especially while talking about Iran, I can say that Iran's government is very unpredictable. Secondly, Iran is in a state of war with Israel, with USA, with Saudi, and India must not risk its poor people's money in a project in Iran at this scenario. So Iran didn't remove India, India pulled back. I guess India's decision is good decision. Although Chhabar project was important, but it cannot be done in this present day scenario.